let's step into the sales dashboard. This is really the command center, the space where you keep track of every moving part in your sales engine. I start with the quote follow-up table. Immediately, something catches my eye. We've got 12 quotes still marked as not yet contacted. Just 3 are marked in progress. That's a red flag. These aren't just numbers, they're potential deals, waiting for someone to take the next step. To dig deeper, I switch to the quotation follow-up activity view, and here it becomes even clearer. There's a quote that's been sitting in progress for 27 days. That's far too long for something meant to be a sales opportunity. So I check the ownership. And surprisingly, there's no salesperson assigned to it. No wonder it's been stagnant. With just a couple of clicks, I assign the right person and send a follow-up message right from here, reviving the conversation and giving that quote a chance to breathe again. This is why the dashboard matters. It doesn't just show you data. It shows you where your attention is needed, what's moving, what's not, and where your sales story is silently stalling. But just because some quotes are moving doesn't mean everything is fine. I notice a new issue. Some quotes have already expired. That's another silent killer of momentum. I open the expired quotes view and it hits me. These weren't dead leads. Most of them could have been converted with just one more nudge. And yet, here they are, ignored, untouched, and now expired. That's not how it should work. A quote should never just slip out of the pipeline quietly. It should either be closed properly, marked lost with a reason, or pushed forward with clear intention. With this view, that gap becomes visible. I can now act on it, clean it up, and make sure we don't keep losing deals simply because no one followed up. At this point, I start thinking, okay, this helps with quotations. But what about the full journey? Leads, opportunities, stages, the entire life cycle? That's where the heat map comes in. This is where things get exciting. It gives you a complete timeline of your sales funnel, from the moment a lead is created, to first contact, to opportunity, to quotation. Every transition is tracked, and the darker the blue cell, the longer something's been stuck. So I scan across the timeline, and the patterns start to emerge. There's a lead that's been idle for too long after the first reply and sat in opportunity for weeks without movement. This map doesn't just point out problems, it gently tells you, hey, this needs your attention. Let's focus on these darkest spots. Turns out the lead was replied to, but no quote was ever made. That's a follow-up waiting to happen. I trigger it immediately. Then I move on to the next one. And the next. It becomes a rhythm, like chasing down missed opportunities one by one, each dark cell lighting up as I resolve it. And when I want to understand what's happening with a specific lead, I just can see horizontally. Right there, I can see how long it took to reply, when the quote was made, how long each stage lasted. Everything's there without pulling reports. Now, what if I want to zoom in? Say, I want to see only one particular sales rep's activity across all of this? I just go up, choose the rep filter, and pick the person I want to focus on. Instantly, the dashboard adjusts, showing only their quotes, follow-ups, heat map, and their movement, all sliced exactly the way I need. We've reviewed the heat map. Now let's head into the bid decision section. Right away, the pie chart gives me a snapshot. How many opportunities are in bid, no bid, hold, or reject? It's clear? A large chunk sits under bid. That's a good sign, but I want to know who's holding what. Just below, the bid decision by salesperson breaks it down. Aisha has 10 active bid opportunities. Meanwhile, other person has 2 and another has 3. That's quite the imbalance. So, I make a quick call. I reshuffle a few of Aisha's opportunities to the others. Now, the load's more balanced. See how fast that decision came? That's what this dashboard does. It doesn't just show what's happening. It gives me the clarity to act right when it matters. This is how we stay ahead. Now, let's jump into the cards. The ones that tell us, hey, you're working hard, but still leave us wondering, are we doing the right things to meet our metrics? Are we really on track? Let's explore the key performance indicators, understand where we stand, what needs improvement, and what actions we need to take right away. Starting with biddable opportunity. This one brings some good news. It shows that our lead qualification process is working well. We're steadily progressing from qualified leads to opportunities, and that's a solid start. Next up, the hit rate. It's at just 17%. That's still quite low. In fact, we've dropped by more than 50%, which is definitely a concern. But then we look at the hit quality rate, and there's a bit of relief that more than 56% of our qualified leads are reaching the quotation stage. So what's going wrong? Well, the real issue lies after that. Only 17% of those quotations are actually converting. That's a steep drop-off. So, where are things falling through the cracks? Let's dive into the quote follow-up activity open. And there it is. A significant number of quotations haven't even been contacted. Even worse, several have been in progress for more than 10 days. That's a problem. These are hot opportunities losing steam just because no one followed up. Let's pick one. Here's a quotation that's been in progress for 20 days. That tells me we reached out earlier. And now, based on our last internal update and sales context, it looks like the customer is ready to move forward. So instead of waiting around, let's take the next step. I'll go ahead and create the sales order. A few clicks later, and it's submitted. One more deal, officially moved to the finish line. Now, coming back to the dashboard, notice how the hit rate has increased. That's the beauty of acting on data before things go cold or get lost. Moving on to average bid value. Here's where we raise an eyebrow. While we're getting a fair number of biddable opportunities, the average value remains low. That prompts the question, are we attracting the kind of deals we actually want? If not, that's something we need to address upstream, perhaps in targeting or qualification. Then we have bid probability. And this one gives us a bit of optimism. It shows a 30% increase, which is promising. It tells us we're not just bidding more, we're bidding smarter. But still, the conversions are not where they should be. We have a strong pipeline of qualified leads, but they're not translating into wins. The hit rate trend shows a 23% drop from last month, another red flag. And again, it all points back to the same area. Quote, follow-up activity open. So many potential deals just sitting there, untouched. That's where we need to focus. Looking at the hit quality rate pie chart, we see that nearly 50% of our quotes are still in open status. That's a massive opportunity waiting to be unlocked. Even moving half of those forward could create a huge impact. Let's turn to the hit rate funnel. At first glance, it looks pretty balanced, but dig a little deeper and you'll notice only 13% of total leads have actually converted. So while we're doing okay at the top of the funnel, we're losing momentum further down. And again, it comes back to one key thing: consistent follow-ups and loop closures. Finally, we get to the salesperson accountability card. This one helps us align effort with expectations. On the lead side, things are looking stable. But when it comes to opportunities, we're clearly falling short. It's not just about generating volume anymore. It's about nurturing quality and driving closures. So yes, on the surface, it might seem like things are moving. Leads are flowing in. Opportunities are opening. But these metrics tell a different story. They highlight where we're strong, where we're slipping, and where our focus needs to go right now.